All right, we got some One Piece to talk about because it has been a while. Time has not been kind to us. Neither has Oda breaks because, like, I think there
Hmm.
was a holiday somewhere in there, and then like
Yeah.
his regularly scheduled breaks. I think he came back from
hmm
his surgery at some point. I think that was
We
before though the stretch.
we our last talk, I believe, was right before the surgery
Yeah,
because we
but
are like we're not gonna have it for a month, and then like for the last next 2 months, it was like two chapters a month. Uh,
so
yeah.
here we are.
hmm
I think we were like, oh no, One Piece for a month. I think it's been over 3 months since that one, like since then. So it's time.
Yeah, July.
So
Yeah.
here's what we got. We got chapter 187 to 193, and I'm gonna go through kind of shitty summaries that I threw together for the chapters to kind of jog our memories, and then we'll talk about the
hmm
highlights or lowlights. Okay, 1087, 1088. This was the end of Garp's raid on Follow Island and his fight with Kuzan, and then the Sword
hmm
members work together to escape. In that chapter, we don't get to know what happened to Garp by the end, and then we
Yeah,
have
we
hmm
do.
uh, 1089, which was the update on Lelusia. The York hostage situation is shown right at the end as we cut back to the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
1090, we actually talk about the hostage situation. We set a course for Elbath, but then Kizaru shows up. 1091, some flashbacks involving the Egghead characters, including Kizaru and Sentamaru and Stella. And then we have Kizaru wiping out Sentamaru and some good character moments with him and Saturn.
hmm
1092, not much happened. It was mostly Kuma, Kuzan, and Kizaru stuff. Uh, or sorry, Kuma Sakazuki stuff and Kizaru
Yeah.
stuff. So a lot of Admiral content in this chapter. And then 1093 was the most recent one, which kind of has like the second chapter of this ongoing Luffy versus Kizaru fight that is happening.
hmm
Whew, that's a lot of shit. And
Yeah.
that said, like I feel like not much has happened since we've cut back to Egghead. Feel like we're still in a weird transition phase from when we returned. Like the status quo is still we're trapped in the Labo
Egghead.
phase,
Yeah.
Like,
and
here's the thing. Right now, we're in the egghead situation. I'm still waiting for the shoe to drop that turns this into the egghead incident.
exactly, you know, Bradley, it's a
Yeah.
three-body problem. Where
Exactly. I need it to hit, dog.
the
The thing with
greatest event,
aliens.
the greatest event in all of One Piece is about to happen. We're like, get on with it.
You
Where
don't
is
even
it?
know how bad it's gonna be.
We don't. I have no idea.
Yeah.
This could be a minor thing where it's like, oh, one celestial dragon dies, which actually would be a big deal if Saturn.
Well, it's
died.
not even. Yeah, it's not even just a celestial dragon. It's one of the five elders.
Yeah.
So it's like one of the five, like, core people potentially.
Which he still hasn't done his move. Like he looked kind of menacing last chapter. I wonder.
Well, he's about to because
Yeah.
he has the higher priority over the pacifistas.
Yeah, actually, they don't have any idea he's here yet. Like the
Correct.
I actually like didn't even clue that together. Like the Vegapunks are going down to the Fabio phase because they're like, okay, we can take control of the, but they don't even know Saturn's there. So oh, this could be fun.
Man, that's actually pretty
Yeah.
spicy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finally. Okay, we're getting to the greatest incident of all time.
It's wild
Yeah.
to see one of these dudes not up in their little office.
I know. Like ever since he set out, that's been one of the most exciting things. But does anyone have a particular point of interest with these chapters? If they took any
Yes.
notes or
I
go ahead,
gotta,
Bradley.
I gotta know what the fuck is happening with whatever. They blow up that kingdom. The global water level raises a meter.
Yeah.
What does that mean? That doesn't even make
I know.
sense, right? Like, am I missing some scientific phenomenon? Because I feel like the water would just be flowing down endlessly, and it
Yeah,
wouldn't.
if
raise
anything, you
either.
thought it would have gone down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
So
g-
go ahead.
no,
Roland.
go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say is that in that chapter he cuts back to Water 7, which has the aqua, and I just was
Aqua
I've been
Laguna,
watching
yeah.
has Aqua Laguna, which is right next door to Innie's Lobby, which is also a giant hole in the
Yeah,
ground.
so 100% Ennie's Lobby got like Lelusia in the past, right? Because it's also a giant hole. And also, I think they mentioned there's no more nighttime in Lelusia, just like Ennie's Lobby now. Which,
Man.
how does that work? Like, that makes no sense. Like, it never made sense with Ennie's Lobby either. Like, does it pierce the sky and then, like, No, that doesn't make sense. I just, God, I need answers. It's such
They
a
don't.
weird
They don't
mystery.
mention that it's always daytime over there.
They
now.
don't. Okay, we haven't
No.
seen it in nighttime. We'll see if like we get an update on that because like
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
it is always daytime, that it's definitely an Ennie's Lobby situation because that is the thing with Ennie's Lobby.
In before, this was a joke I made like a while ago, but in before the One Piece world is actually flat. This was like a long time. I made this joke like a while ago. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but I just thought it'd be funny.
Yes, when Gold Roger circumnavigated the Grove
Yes.
and became king of the
Becomes-
pirates.
You could just turn around and come back that way.
That's not a circumnavigation. That is a back and forth.
No, but then someone used their devil fruit to curve the flat world to make it
Yeah.
temporarily circular.
Bradley,
Yeah.
what do you make of this water rising scenario? Like, what does it make you think of? Any theories that come along with it?
I'm wondering, here's the thing. Aside from one option, which is just it's something that we can't possibly know, two other ideas is maybe one, the kingdom sinking under the water, like maybe like it literally pushed this kingdom
Yeah.
down into the ocean and it displaced the water up,
yeah.
or maybe the attack itself just has a shitload of water in it that we didn't notice.
What the first thing I thought of was like the attack like leaves a cone in the world that is not filled by water, and because of that the water wouldn't fall, it would just rise. Like it just
Yeah.
like creates this weird void that rejects everything.
Mhm.
So along with that, so look at Anise Lobby. Like, say, let's use that as the example.
Mm-hmm.
There was something there, and it got pushed all the way to the seafloor.
Mm-hmm.
Water is cascading down, but instead of filling the hole, it just cascades off of the island and goes back into the bottom of the ocean
Yeah.
floor.
Like somehow it's a phenomenon where the water does go down, but it immediately like cycles back into the ocean.
Yes. So there's a place where that didn't happen, and this same phenomenon did happen, and that's Wano, and that's because they had walls. So when the water went down,
Yo.
it flows up instead of cascading back into the ocean.
Wait a minute. Who told you this? This is spicy.
Nobody. I was just not being a dumbass.
You cooked. You cooked.
Mhm. The other thing too is that like we also have Reverse Mountain, like water goes up it.
Yeah,
It's another thing that
that's always been
occurs.
wild.
Yeah.
Man, this One Piece world, it's shenanigans.
Water flows north.
True. Even up mountains. But I really like that actually. It happened to Old Wano, which is why there's that underwater Wano, but the walls kept it from making the phenomenon. Yeah, I'm down with
Wait,
that.
hold up. So water actually flows towards the center of gravity. Would that mean on Reverse Mountain that gravity is higher than above sea level in this
Well,
world?
No, that's not how gravity works. It's not like pinpoint. It's just depending on how big a body of the mass of an object is. Which
Yeah.
the largest mass object is the Earth. Hence why we're all gravitating towards it.
Yeah.
Bradley's the science boy. He can fact check me on these.
I think there's just things in the One Piece world that can't be explained, man.
No, we're talking about
Yeah.
real gravity right now. We
No,
can't-
real gravity? No, Willer's on the money.
Isaac Newton explained that one. I
Yeah,
don't-
yeah. Also, water tends to flow from like, from small to like the larger sources of water. I don't know. Water's weird. It goes down water. Yeah.
Wait. Hold up. Idea.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
What if each ocean is on a different elevation than the other oceans?
And they just don't know about it. I mean, I'm sure
Like,
Grand Line scientists know the elevation of their oceans.
If the water inside the Grand Line is encased actually inside of the mountains, then that would mean displacing that island is like a bathtub,
Mm-hmm.
which would explain why Reverse Mountain, the water flows, quote unquote, up because it's floating from those outer oceans into the bathtub.
But I think that would only make sense if there was permanently like weight pushing down on the ocean, and I don't think that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
We've already entertained this enough. I don't think we're gonna get any answers, but I really like some of these theories you guys got. This
I
is
like
good
the idea
stuff.
that it's pushed the Earth down because you can use water displacement, which is not necessarily how it would work on a scale this large, I think.
It
But-
works if it also is making sure that like the water doesn't flow. If it's a combination of like creating
Yeah.
a void and pushing down whatever, I think that would work.
Mm-hmm.
I
Fair.
guess we'll find out in a while.
Wait,
I don't think we're gonna
y'all
cook.
What if previously this world had way more land masses besides the
Yeah.
red line, but then like overuse of this weapon is what made the world what it is today?
Actually, okay, let's get into that. Right, there's the idea that the One Piece world is actually a great Pangea, and
Yeah.
the islands that we see are kind of like jutting out points of
Basically, basically Wind Waker.
that. Yeah.
Uh,
Another. So the main takeaway from me is that I now understand what the end game, like story arc of One Piece is going. I think I know what the last arc is now, and it's going to be.
They're gonna flood the earth.
It's going to be a great flooding incident,
Yeah.
and the Straw Hats are going to have to stop it unless the world
Mhm.
gets flooded.
Oh my god.
Which is really cool because like every island could have a part in making sure they stay alive until Luffy can like I could just picture all these scenes of people trying their best to stay alive until like
Mhm.
hoping that Luffy will save them, which is a microcosm of Skypiea, where like they're praying that Luffy saves them from Enel, and we got
Mhm.
Enel and Emu now. So I don't
Like
know.
Mr. 3 gets his hero moment where he saves an island by making a wax ball around it.
Mr.
Yeah.
3's hero moment in Marineford is oddly very good. that guy gets
Yeah.
some good moments, so I'm looking forward to it.
I also realized, like, it just kind of dawned on me. We have a friend that's going through One Piece,
Mhm.
and they just finished Skypiea, and Inaru's whole thing is that, like, the gods should be, physically above the weaklings and stuff like that. I just realized that the Celestial Dragons literally are probably living on top of the highest landmass available, and then
Yeah.
he was even higher up on that.
Oh, Oda's been cooking this like
Yeah.
god celestial like bad ruler kind of vibe for a while, like at least since Enaru. And
I think, yeah.
as for like, I've always had the theory that the One Piece world is actually like it used to be all ocean. That's something I've always had, and the
Well,
islands
you know-
are moons that they dropped
Yeah.
because the One Piece world allegedly had multiple moons in the past.
You know,
according to Enies
Well, you know
logic.
what's ironic though is that if the final thing is like a great flooding, that would just make fishmen even more powerful, right?
It would,
So like,
but
and they're super racist.
we've handled most of the fishmen supremacists right now. Like I don't think that's really a big concern. I think the remaining fishmen are all pretty good people.
Yeah, that's
You know, give
that's
or
not what I'm
take for
talking about.
bag.
But like, if you think about the racism from Marijoa and the fishmen and everything, it just seems kind of strange or very short-sighted for them. Like, oh, we'll make everything an ocean, and these people that we've enslaved now just kind of have the run of the biggest landmass.
No,
quote unquote.
I mean it works out even better because it's like they're sitting at the highest point of the world to where they literally can flood the
Mhm.
world and not have to worry about it. Like if that is not a symbol of their power and aristocracy, then I don't know what
True,
it is.
true.
I think that really fits. So I'm 100% like 99% that the Great Flooding is going to be a big part of the
Also,
finale here.
That would also explain San Juan Bridge as to how tall it is, because it connects to the other part of the red line.
Yeah, why
as
don't
like a
you remind the
express route.
class what San Juan Bridge is, Joe?
It's the bridge that Robin was imprisoned on in her part of her time skip, and then stayed by the revolutionaries, and was a
It's this giant
Fucking
bridge,
bridge.
they've been building for centuries, and they don't know where or why it's being built, but it's like an
Yeah.
ongoing project.
I bet you like the last few chapters they'll be like, look, we can see where we're coming from. We're getting to the end, and it's gonna be like Marijoa, or it's like reverse bound or something like that. But yeah.
Can't wait. Oh man, so many weird things to still happen in One Piece. I will say with 1089, the ending there reveals like the York twist, and just a conversation here I remember being very confusing. Where like, I couldn't tell if the Straw Hats were forcing her to, because she's talking about how the Straw Hats have her hostage, but it seems
Yes.
like they're forcing her to tell them that they have her hostage. So like, I was just confused like what exactly they were doing here, because the chapter just kind of ends on the reveal, and I don't know if the next chapter clarified it very well for me. But
They were trying to get information from the Five Elders on what the situation was.
yeah, but then she like squeals like, "Come help!" Like I don't know if it just feels like whatever they were trying to get out of her.
I think her squealing was a part of the plan because I think immediately afterwards, like Nami hits her across the face in the next chapter for doing that.
No, she hits her across the face for threatening Robin, which is great. One thing I wanted to bring up was 1090. It was like my favorite chapter of this batch. It's kind of like a Calm Before the Storm chapter. It ends with like Kizaru showing up on Sentomaru, but a lot of those first pages is just really good Straw Hat interactions that I really like. Just like a bunch of good stuff, even with the Vegapunks as well. It was really, like, it was very endearing for them. Had good like Robin, Nami, even Chopper stuff.
Yeah, like Robin going like Luffy. Like you don't have to tell them everything.
Yeah.
I love those moments. Like it's got some cute stuff with the Boa Seraphim. I like the Vegapunks trying to work together to like counter hack York. Like just all sorts of really good moments in this chapter. So that
Speaking
was, like,
of the Seraphim, it was really cool because Vegapunk was thinking about the Boa Seraphim doing what Luffy asked, and he's like, "Oh, that's part of the bloodline elements."
Yeah, like I think what will go down as my biggest complaint of this arc is how nonchalant the Straw Hats are with what Vegapunk has created. And like I guess we'll see. Like I don't know. It's just kind of weird that at least one of them should have been like, "Hey, man, what about the ethics of what you're doing here?"
Yeah, I would have been more shocked. Like if it was like Chopper, I feel like would have been the one.
Chopper
like,
and Nami should be pretty upset about what he's done.
Or even Jinbei.
And I get it. Jinbei's the only one who's like, he at least was like, "Dude, your internet plan's kind of weird." I don't know.
Yeah.
About that.
He's looking at all the other Straw Hats like, "Are y'all fucking serious?"
Do you know how much porn they're gonna post of us? Even me.
He's much
Do you know
wiser
how
than
much-
them.
There'll be so much Hancock porn just up in the web. It'll be just vague imaginings of what she looks like.
Man,
Because no one's actually seen her.
Because they don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, she has a wanted poster somewhere. Joe, do you have like a highlight point that you'd like to bring up?
Do I?
nothing good happened.
It's true. Nothing good happened. Oh, there's the moment. So Lucci obviously is like communicating with the outside Marine Force somehow. We don't know how. I have a theory it's a 6th power that he developed. So like a 7th or 8th power.
Ooh.
No, he probably just has like a very tiny little den machine.
But
Tiny snail.
maybe. But like it does, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. But one thing I liked is there's when he gets up and immediately like starts trying to kill Vegapunk. So I was just fucking like, well, I'm gonna just grab this gun and balloon Kaku real quick just in case. I just like the quickness the Straw Hats do, and they're just like so their response to it. And then okay, the other thing was so Zoro and Lucci start fighting. And
yeah, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah, and Zoro has a lot. Is it in 1091? I think it's in 1091. But Zoro has a line, and I found out that the fan translation of it is way better than what they did in the official one.
Do you remember?
I don't remember what the official one was, but I do remember what the so in the official one it says, so you got back up and thought you could make your move, huh? And in the fan translation one, it's like, oh, so you got back up and you decided to grow a spine now.
Ooh.
Which I thought was great.
Same idea, at least. At least it wasn't like
it's the same idea, but it's just a little bit more colder. But I don't know. There's just been a lot of fighting this.
Zoro.
Yeah, there's just been a lot of fighting in the past few chapters. I did see someone point out that like, why did Luffy go Gear 4 against Kizaru when he went Gear 5 against Lucci?
No,
like, from the outset.
I really love that because Kizaru is the fast boy. Hitting him strong and hard doesn't matter. Gear 4 Snake Man specifically, which is the one Luffy was in, is the one all about speed and future sight. Like, I think it's really cool that Luffy hasn't obsoleted his other gears. Because Gear 5 clearly exhausts him and stuff like that. So I like to see that he at least started that fight with a pretty logical choice of like going into his speed form. And he did Gear 4 against Lucci somewhat. It's like,
dude. Oh no, go ahead. But also, I got something crazy.
No, that's basically all I have to say on that. So what do you got?
Talk about these transformations. When he does go Gear 5 against Kizaru, the fucking robot's eyes light up.
What was that? What the fuck?
was that?
I forgot about that.
Joy Boy has returned.
It was right at the end of the chapter too.
That
Yeah.
is this a Joy Boy thing? Like,
It's gotta be.
No,
think
it's
so.
it's actually equals MC squared.
No, that fuck.
Nope, it's equals MC squared,
What is
Joe.
Oh,
what
was
does
that
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 mean?
fucking theory y'all saw on the internet?
I haven't seen this theory.
It's like
Oh God, where is this?
mass, what is it? Mass and what is the other thing?
So
Energy,
energy
equals mass times MC squared.
Is
What
it
is C?
acceleration? Yeah, I think it's mass times acceleration. squared.
Science boy.
Oh, speed of light. It's the speed of
Yeah,
light.
okay.
Yeah,
It's the
speed of light.
constant of
Yeah,
speed
yeah.
of light. Yes.
Yeah.
Luffy's mass grabs onto the speed of light. It creates energy, which is what charged up the robot.
Oh, fuck off, mate. That's nothing. This is nothing. I think it's reacting to like Joy Boy's heartbeat. I'll go with
Oh
that.
yeah, it's got the.
Yeah.
It's got his heartbeat stuff.
And like it's giving me the vibes of when Zunatia is like pogging off because Joy
Yeah.
Boy's back.
Now-
so, like,
Here's the potential plot twist. Is this robot for Joy Boy, or was this robot made to fight Joy Boy?
ooh, fight. I'm gonna say fight.
Yeah, I think so too.
In my mind, and we've talked about this. In my mind, what happened in the Void Century was the Ancient Kingdom had all the technology, and
Yeah.
Joy Boy and the Celestial Dragons working together in a God Valley-esque Roger Celestial Dragon way. They worked together to stop the Ancient Kingdom, but then they probably betrayed Joy Boy, and now he's the pariah devil. Something to that effect, right?
That's the
I think
thing.
s-
My first thought was when the robot turned on, I thought like, oh, in the ancient times, maybe these robots were an ally of Joy Boy. But then I was like, okay, well, if the quote unquote good guys side had these robots, why the fuck would they need Joy Boy to save them?
And why would they lose?
Yeah,
like-
yeah. Oh man, I
Uh,
can't wait to figure out what the hell is going on.
I
Oh,
saw
juicy.
another theory that potentially, like, this is wild and out there, but that Kuma actually has the like soul or programming of this robot potentially, and because he turns Gear 5 earlier while they're on Egghead, but the robot does nothing.
True,
Um,
true. Good point.
So but Kuma fucking freaks out, like he goes crazy.
Yeah, wait, is that the same chapter? Like, the beginning of the chapter has
Yeah.
the Kuma and Sakazuki stuff, which I thought was really interesting, because, like, you don't get to see Sakazuki act very much. He's very much a stuck in meetings kind of guy these days, so it's cool to see him, and, like, it seemed like he was, like, less of a dick as he's trying to take out, like, it almost seemed like he didn't love what he had
Yeah.
to do there, which was very
So that's-
interesting. But that's
that's
the
the
same
start-
chapter, I think, yeah.
That is the start of the chapter, but that's a previous day. I don't know how long they've been on Egghead. I think it's been at least a day.
If it's
right?
if it's the previous day and you're sure about that, Kuma could have gotten there in a day since he's like shooting
Yeah, yeah,
himself
yeah.
through the air very quickly.
But like he freaks out, and then when freaks out tries to do something, which could literally be like the robot going back to its masters, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it sends itself back, and it's somehow like reprogram or sent soul back to the robot. Is a theory that I saw.
It could be that
Right.
Kuma has arrived at the island as of the robot freaking out, and we're about to see him in a couple
Fair.
chapters.
Yeah.
He'll
It might
probably-
be trying to trace.
If that is the case, he'll probably show up like as the pacifistas are going crazy, and he's gonna show up in the
Yeah.
middle, and they're like, "That's not a pacifista."
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
cool. It'd be good closure for Bonnie and Sentamaru probably too.
Yeah, I really hope we get to see more of Kuma's flashback that Bonnie saw. I hope that's like not
So
sped.
yeah.
through.
that's the other issue that a lot of people have been like talking about is Bonnie's change of character. I saw a lot of people say that like this is a Blackbeard pirate. That's
Yeah.
the one that changes.
So there's a Blackbeard pirate called Katarina Devon. She has a mythical fox, like a kitsune fruit, which lets her transform into people.
Yeah.
And she's known to love men. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
she could have been crushing on Sanji at the end of that one chapter. Like,
Mm.
it was kind of weird. Like, only one woman likes Sanji, and her name is Pudding. Like, no
Yeah.
one else.
Yeah.
Sanji's a repulsive piece of shit to everyone else. So, like,
That's not true. The mermaids kind of really liked him when he showed up for the first time. There's the mouse lady and Wano as well.
they were like girls that like in like a
Viola literally changed sides because of Sanji.
They're
Yeah,
just
but,
being nice.
but that's not because of Sanji's hotness. Well, she did mention the cooking. The thing is, with that, the most recent chapter, she was saying some very boa-y thing. She even tried to do the age skewer attack on Kizaru. Like, she swung, like, and she tried to do it with, like, a robot arm, so I guess she can use it with,
But
like, anything
that's
sharp.
the thing. We clearly know it's not her because we see her de-age people later, so that can't be it.
Well, she de-aged people on the ground level, and
When she got thrown away.
well, that seems like some classic Oda misdirection. Like, oh, Bonnie smashed into the wall, and now suddenly people are getting de-aged, and it's. I could see this going either way, actually.
That'd be really funny if that is that Blackbeard pirate, and she just got fucking killed by Kizaru accidentally, and
Oh, that would not bode well for our endgame opponents losing one
Yeah.
of their 10 captains just from a Kizaru
I
kick.
saw it more of like Bonnie saw the reason why Kuma did that
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And now she's much better about like the situation. I also saw a theory that Bonnie is actually probably like 10 years old.
I don't agree with that theory.
I don't agree with it either.
First of all, I don't want to agree with it because that's gross.
That's
because
weird,
of how
yeah.
often we see sexy Bonnie and like
Bonnie.
she said like leave my daddy alone. Like that's not like older girls say daddy in multiple contexts, mind you.
Yes.
To me, what breaks that theory is we saw child Bonnie being held by Kuma, and it looked like well into the past, like the before
Yeah.
revolutionary days. So, I don't know. I hope that's not the case, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Also, there is a Blackbeard ship here. Fun fact. Like,
no, for sure. Like some Blackbeard pirate is here, which is why people
Yeah.
were thinking this is Katarina Devon. I did see that.
Shiryu was on Pirate Island.
Yeah, the only two unaccounted for are Devon, Lafitte, and Blackbeard.
Yeah.
I don't think Blackbeard's here. I think that's too high profile.
Well, Lafitte can also teleport, but I could also see Blackbeard like we have to give Vegapunk for whatever
The
reason.
teleporter is Van Augur, but yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah. Van Augur was with him because he has pudding.
Yeah. There's so many characters to keep track of. I
Yeah.
wanted to toss it over to Tyler. Tyler, how do you feel about Kizaru content in the manga IRL as I live and breathe?
Wild.
I like the Kizaru content. There's some stuff I've been reading about like this entire battle with Kizaru. I think if we got even some flashback content,
Which we did a little bit. We've been
Little
getting
bit.
like snippets of Kizaru backstory, which I was not expecting.
Yeah.
I think Kizaru is a murdering psychopath.
Oh, what?
And I think he's a murdering psychopath. And something happened. There was a trigger event. There was a canon event where he said he's no longer going to make any decisions ever again.
Oh, this is cool. Hold on.
That's a good thought.
I like this.
So that's why he does not stray away from his rules ever again. I mean, or just he's so fucking strong, like he has some weird philosophy about exerting his power over other people.
No, for sure. But
Maybe his Aunt May died and said, "With great power comes great responsibility."
it's
Yeah.
crazy that the Stoner Admiral has this much depth now. Like like the Admirals, I'm saying this, if including Fujitora, are going to go down as like probably the coolest group of characters in One Piece. Like I'm really feeling it.
Like, whenever he rolled up, he said, like, you investigated the Void Century. It's a crime even I can't forgive. And I'm like, what did you mean by that? Like, can you not forgive it because it's your job to not forgive it?
Or
Or
what
can
do
you
you
not
know?
forgive it because you personally can't forgive it?
Yeah, like what is bro? What does bro know? I don't know.
Well, he could go at the speed of light, so maybe he traveled back in time and saw what happened.
Sick. And then he like high five Toki as she was going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They passed each other on like the time tunnel that they were going down.
It's like but Kizaru is like interesting because he's also slightly, ever so slightly pushing back against Saturn. Like Saturn's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Just killed them. And he's like, let me play this by the book. Let me fight Sentamaru. Like, even though it
Dude.
pains. Like, what's going on in his mind?
The fact that he responded to an order with anything less than an immediate
sir.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was
Also-
like, I know you're an admiral, but like, aren't you afraid of dying?
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure he spares Sentomaru because he was about to
Oh, yeah.
cap Zoro. Like he was gonna do the double tap on
Oh,
Zoro
yeah.
in Sabaody. So I think it's very obvious. Like, all right, he's out of the way. I gave him his fight and
He
moved
is-
on.
Like that little flashback as he's like going in to fight Sentomaru, and you're getting like these cute little flashbacks of Sentomaru meeting Vegapunk, and then also Sentomaru training with Kizaru, and like, and I like that whole bit of like you're the most defensive man. Well, my defense is great too. It's harkening to Kuzan also having really good armament hockey like Garp, and like we're only learning about it now. Like you're getting all these like relationships with the admirals that I was not expecting. Like Oda is not skimming out on that.
That's a good point because we see that like Kizaru is kind of like, or Garp is like Kizaru kind of like trained directly under Garp and was like his like master or ideal person.
So, Kuzan trained under Garp, and then
Kuzan,
and then we have Kizaru and Vegapunk, which is cool.
Yeah.
And they have like a found family with Sentomaru. Like I would have never predicted this kind of stuff.
And then Sakazuki also like tries to talk to Kuma.
Yeah,
like that's the other thing. So is there like something between the two of them that also went down?
And don't forget Akainu in post-war. There's like that period before we get to like the flashback, and Sakazuki's hunting down Boa. It's not Boa, sorry, Bonnie. And he has like Bonnie tied down. He's like, your blood cannot be forgiven. Like I have to chase you down. So all the way like 600 chapters ago, it set up this thing where Sakazuki has a thing with Bonnie, and you can infer that it's because of Kuma, and he knows what Kuma did and what the tyrant is. Going back to what Tyler said, like Kizaru's unforgivable crime, maybe Kuma got blamed for what Kizaru did in the past, and he's atoning by being an admiral and trying to follow the law as much as he can.
Yeah, because Kizaru was already like pretty old, quote unquote. He was like 26
Probably
or whatever it
30s
was.
or whatever.
Yeah, when he was with Vegapunk, he obviously wasn't part of the Navy at that point, right? Like just based on how he was dressed.
Yeah, no, he's dressed like just a dude. He's just a guy.
Yeah, so very obviously, like something must have happened where the Navy came, and he had to join the Navy for whatever reason.
Wow. This is so good. And then there's Green Bull, who's like, "Yeah, I'm just a fucking racist. What about it?"
Yeah, he's the fucko that like he's the neo-Nazi who's excited to get a gun and join the police.
If he also gets cool content, like this is going to be very cool. I love this. Speaking of Kizaru some more, Tyler. Sorry, we kind of took your baton, but like, any other feelings you got? Because I know he's like one of your favorite characters in the story.
Yeah, dude. I don't really think I have anything else for him right now other than just pure entertainment out of this fight. He fights Gear 5 Luffy and just kind of doesn't care.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. I am shocked. Like he is kind of chilling right now. And Luffy's not even that tired. Like he fought.
Oh yeah.
Lucci a little bit and had time to rest. So.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's putting up a fight. Like they're still going up against each other, but like it's not like
it's pretty even.
Down.
But like I think for a long time, people were like emperors are just clearly stronger than an admiral in a one-on-one. Like if we're gonna get into some power scaling, I think this breaks the world a little bit. But if you think back to the war, yes, Whitebeard kicked Sakazuki's ass a little bit, and then what happened? He literally got up, shrugged it off, and kept fighting like it was no big deal. Like he just kept hunting people. So I feel like we have long since undervalued the admirals, and they were like trying not to overexert themselves in the war too much because they were ready to keep fighting. Like they were ready to take out Whitebeard and
That's
then,
true.
Wipe everyone out. They weren't.
They got up and were about to kill everybody still that was there after Whitebeard was done. Like Sakazuki's like, all right, let's keep going. Let's keep the ball rolling.
I can do this all day, he said.
And he only stopped because like I can't fight two emperors.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. So like I feel like what's happening is Oda is trying to like make it very clear, especially after like I think Green Bull let a lot of people down in power scaling wise. So I think people are I think he's going out of his way to show like, no, Kizaru one-on-one is a threat to Luffy, and like that's how serious these guys are if they're trying, and he's not even really trying so far. So
yeah, it's those 3 OGs that I think are really up there in terms of like power.
Yeah.
Isho is still very strong, but like
Isho scares me a little bit, just casually dropping meteors.
Isho has one of like the 3 powers that can destroy the world. The other one being Whitebeard, and being like, I'm gonna just cause a giant earthquake forever. And Isho's like, yeah, let's just call down the moon.
Isho
probably maybe
nearly wiped out Greenbit in Dressrosa, like that whole little island that they were in. He'd like, I'll just drop the biggest meteor.
Dude, I just love this attack Kizaru does when he's still fighting I think Gear 4, where he like in the span of like a second he flies super far away from the island to the point where even Luffy's like, fuck, how far away did he go? And he shoots like a laser back at the island. I'm like, that's his level 3 super when they drop the fighting game, man. He flies out into space and just
dirty zoner. Like he doesn't even have to come back.
Oh yeah, Kizaru's hell of a zoner. He doesn't want to fucking fight you. He's gonna just shoot you with laser beams and then sword you out when you get too close.
I will say, I'm whelmed by the fight so far. It doesn't seem that serious, and I'm like, what the most whelming part's actually Luffy. Like, he hasn't done anything super new with Gear 5 as of now.
Yeah.
And, like, so, like, this is the one time I've been, like, not super impressed with Gear 5 on a creative level, but I think we're just starting, so let's see where this goes.
Yeah, it's a lot of
also,
stuff we've seen before. The giant fist, the eyeballs popping out the head.
Dawn Whip,
You have to also remember what the objective is. It's not let's beat Kizaru up. Is we need to get Eggman, Vegapunk, and everyone else. Yeah, we gotta get everyone else off the island. So it's Luffy can't just go all out and then gas out because there's still like a whole fleet around them they need to get off. So like he needs to still be able to, deal with Kizaru and then potentially deal with whatever's good they need to deal with as they're leaving.
I saw some people complaining that like Luffy's not using advanced Conquer armament hockey while fighting Kizaru, and it's like, and they're like, oh, if he doesn't win, it's just because like Oda didn't write the fight, so he's doing everything he can. And it's just like, I think like the advanced hockeys have kind of brain rotted people where they want to see it active at all times. Where it's like, I think Oda just wants to draw a fun fight, and for this fight, he's like, I'm gonna do Snake Man because it's the speed thing, and then we're gonna do Gear 5 because I like Gear 5. So it's like, I don't need to. It's implied that he's using those kinds of techniques. You don't have to like show it all the time. I don't think so. I don't really agree with that.
Because otherwise, well, he had to have used it when he kicked him at the beginning of the fight, right?
Well, they're talking specifically about like the advanced forms with like the big hockey and like the no touching. It's like that wouldn't change. Like it's not about doing a big hit on Kizaru. It's about hitting him at all. And I think that's like what he's right. Like I'm glad that the fights aren't just boring hockey versus hockey. It's like there's a little bit of a twinge to like the differences.
You don't want just giant energy blasts going at each other all the time.
I don't.
Yeah,
I'm afraid to say.
Same.
One thing I wanted to bring up is actually the first 2 chapters of this batch, which was the end of the Garp stuff. Particularly, 1088 was really good. It's got like some flashbacks with Garp and Kobe, and like I particularly like this section where Kobe, Groose, and even Helmeppo all work together to defeat. I think his name is Avalo Pizarro, the Big Island Man.
That was badass.
And I also like this gave some good characterization to the Island Man, where he's like, you guys are forgetting that like the 10 of us, like the 10 captains, also want to make our names for ourselves. So like the next headline is gonna be about how I took out Garp, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Like, I'm glad you're getting some characterization, but like Kobe doing the honesty impact was really cool. Like,
oh my god, I love it.
Good teamwork, and then we got the Glorp web after that, and then
Glorp web.
But also Garp laughing as he's been stabbed. He's got an ice spike through him. Kuzan is really upset about the situation. But that's what I say, Tyler. We don't know what happened. It just said he disappeared, so we don't really know what the next thing with Garp is.
He might have been time capsule like Saul did.
True. I think he's just being held prisoner somewhere.
Yeah.
But it could be on ice. But you die like you die if you get frozen by Kuzan. It's not like
What are you talking about? He did the Saul, and Saul's alive.
Yes, but Saul was in a burning island with a bunch of cannon fire. He broke out clearly. Like Saul was not Saul was not Avatar: The Last Airbender for 20 years.
Okay. He also froze Luffy, and Luffy lived.
Because they made it a very big point that it's like we got to get this
Yeah.
motherfucker into a hot bath or he's going to die. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's on ice necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just really
Plus, they
like
want to
that
ransom
chapter.
him.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna ransom him.
Yeah.
I like Frankie got a little bit of stuff, which I like because I feel like Frankie should be getting more of this arc because it is a science arc. So like he had a little interaction. He tried to radical beam Kizaru, which I like because clearly like laser technology in this world was invented by researching Kizaru. I think that was confirmed by Vegapunk, one of these chapters. So Frankie using a laser is pretty cool. And he's also going down with Sanji to the Labro phase. So hopefully the two of them can do cool stuff down there. You mentioned Zoro is fighting Awakened Lucci, which is like...
Oh my god. No, I wanted to talk about that because y'all want to know what was fucking funny that I saw people making fun of?
What?
Is when Lucci initially rolls up to Egghead, he's like, I don't view Straw Hat as an emperor. And then he gets his ass beat, and then now he's fighting Zoro, and he's like, I'm gonna take down the number 2 of an emperor.
Yeah.
Look, man, he's just trying to do his best. People are too mean to Lucci.
Oh, dude, it killed me.
I'm gonna take down the pet of an emperor. That's a good consolation prize.
The pet! Chopper's not even here. Oh, man. Chopper could take him. I believe in our boy.
And then he tries to fight Usopp, and then Usopp beats him, and he's like, fuck you guys.
Usopp beating Lucci would be so good because...
Oda could make it work, dude.
He could. At least as long as Usopp gets the final hit. We also, like, Stussy got, like, taken out, quote-unquote.
Oh, yeah, she got fingered.
Why do y'all think she did that?
What do you mean? Because she was protecting Stella.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought she was on the secret agent side.
What? Bradley.
Bradley, you're Tylering right now. Remember,
I am, but y'all gotta explain it to me.
Stussy literally took down Lucci and Kaku because she revealed she was a triple agent for Vegapunk. With
That's what it is.
That spread with the vampire rings.
Gotcha.
It's a lot.
She's also the clone of, God, what's her name?
Bucking,
Weevil's
Miss
mom.
Bucking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that happened? Yeah, we're going to Elbaf for sure, as long as we don't get derailed.
Dude, Luffy and Usopp were so fucking excited to hear that.
I know that was some of the great character interactions we were going through.
Everyone was excited to hear that. Doing the fan base.
Everyone liked that.
Yeah, everyone did like it. Because I'm not gonna lie, for a small second when Oda was like, I'm gonna finish in 3 years, I was like, oh, we're skipping Elbaf. Oh my god. One Piece is gonna be rushed. By the way, the 3 years thing, I think we're 1 year off from that estimate. So
that's not happening.
He lied once again.
I think so for Elbaf, I think Mjolnir is gonna be a thing, and then Usopp's gonna pick it up, or make everyone think that he can pick it up, because everyone thinks
he had the 5-ton hammer and 10-ton hammer scenes.
Yeah.
So, cooking.
I
want to read the dialogue Sakazuki had with Kuma here to see if I can pick up anything. I like the Celestial Dragons complaining about being hungry, so the revolutionaries hit their food supply and it's hidden.
Man, they couldn't survive quarantine.
They could not.
No.
There's been Wano also had a big theme about like food as a resource, and like we touched upon it in Whole Cake 2. So Oda is definitely focusing on that kind of stuff. Let's see. Sakazuki says, "Listen up, Kuma. If we can't maintain control of you, then we certainly can't afford to let you on the loose, where you can be a danger to the public. You're no different from a dead man. Then where do you think you're going? Well, at least you bleed like a man." So I guess like, the most interesting line is after Kuma's left, where he goes, "Where would you go? A mere puppet with no mind or will left." So I don't know. He knows about... we actually get a flashback to when Sakazuki was hunting down Bonnie, so I think he has an idea that he's going there. But, like, what is he going to do about it? He's on the top of the red line right now, so... Well, that was a day ago. Wait, if that was a day ago, is that why he maybe sent Kizaru? That would make a lot of sense, actually. Like, he sends Kizaru to the island.
The island? It's just like, you need to go... There's shit happening on the Egghead, you need to go deal with it. Oh, he might be there. Kuma might be there.
Exactly, like he's
Yeah.
like go intercept Kuma because I don't know if we got a reason why Kizaru was there yet. Like it seemed like he was preemptively there.
Yeah, I think him joining up in that whole investigation.
It was to get fucking
York.
no the Egghead man. What the fuck is it? Stella.
Vegapunk. Stella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also it could be like a thing. It's like Bonnie might also go for Vegapunk, so let's just knock him out while we can. Yada yada.
Also, I think Saturn was going, so like we should probably send an admiral to take care of an Elder Dragon, Elder 5 man. I can also see it just being that too.
At the end of the chapter, we see the robot, and you're right, Joe. Like it is very clearly showing Nika's heartbeat at the end, which again makes me question why this didn't happen when the Lucci thing happened. But maybe that's because they fought in the ground level at this point, but now they're in the sky. But I think the robot was in the ground level.
No, they were in the ground level. They didn't even like as soon as they got to the island, they went up to the Labosphere, I believe.
No, it was like partway through. They fought in the ground level for a while.
Against Lucci? Maybe they did.
But yeah, the first fight with Lucci was in the lab Fabrio phase, they call it.
Yeah.
Those are a lot of the big points.
Did y'all notice that like Kuzan Sakazuki just likes taking off half of people's faces?
Oh, he's trying to take off the whole head, but they're just good.
I know,
dodgers.
but he could never do it. Is he gonna do it one day? That'd be hilarious. He's
Man,
just like fucking.
I got the feeling that like he was just like with Kuma, like he's doing his job as he always does, and he will continue to do. But like his dialogue, I got the feeling that he's like, I feel for you, man. But also like, I don't know.
I don't know about that, but like, I will say the dialogue doesn't have that like burning hatred we see in Marineford.
It's not bitter like I
It's not
expected
bitter. It just seems like what are you doing, man? Like you're a puppet. Just go back.
Yeah.
He seems annoyed and conflicted and just confused, maybe.
Because we've seen him like goad people before with Ace and Whitebeard.
Oh, he's mean. He's like a dick.
Yeah.
So like this isn't.
Yeah.
He's kind of tame here in comparison to what we've seen.
He's like, this is just sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah. I also get the sense he was very annoyed by the fucking celestial dragons.
Dude, this motherfucker
he's like,
the celestial dragons.
He's like, can y'all shut the fuck up?
Yeah. I just love the metaphor Oda's kind of going here, where it's like this guy's in a literal volcano and he's just building tension the entire time and he's going to explode one day.
He's like a gigolo ready to burst. As the great Aaron Hansen has said.
That's one said, yeah. So in my rewatches of One Piece lately, I came up with like 4 very terrible, no good theories.
We'll end with that. That sounds like a good endpoint.
So the first theory, I came up with these while I was watching the Davy Back fight.
Yeah, but I love Davy Back fight theorizing.
Yes. So the first one is they talk about Davy Jones and him being sunk to the sea and being cursed. My theory with that is that Davy Jones is actually the one and only user of the water fruit, and he fell overboard, or he thought he could swim with it.
I've flirted with that idea before.
And because he's in water, he's kind of the most powerful he'll ever be. So he just doesn't die, but he literally can't go anywhere because he's in water.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in a weird stasis of like just being stuck at the bottom of the ocean, really, because he's probably hit the floor and he can't swim up. So that's why he can't get out and do stuff.
Yeah.
So that's one of them. Oh God, I think I forgot I remember I told you 2 of them, Willer. That was one of them. Oh, the other one was on the Davy Back fight. They mention that it originated off of Pirate Island, where Blackbeard is currently located. So the idea potentially is that when they go to Pirate Island, they do a Davy Back fight against the Blackbeard crew, which I think would be super lame. But there's a connection there. I think that is possible.
I don't think it has to be. I think a Davy Back fight is it can be a tournament arc. Like they don't have to do games. They can just do like fights if they want to. They could play it for Garp.
Yes, that's the idea, is that they play it for
like,
Garp.
Luffy's not gonna go Davy Back fight for Garp. Garp made his life decision. I don't think Luffy it would have to also be for because Boa wasn't captured. Like if it was for Kobe. I don't think he would do it.
But he also has pudding.
Kobe.
I could see Kobe begging him to go back and get him.
Oh.
And I could also see potentially they'd learn that Pudding's there, and Sanji's like, we have to go save Pudding.
It would be an extra cherry on the pudding.
Yeah, and then that's 2 crew people that they steal from from Blackbeard, and then like they don't steal from the Blackbeard pirates potentially.
Yeah.
So I said 4. It was actually 3. I didn't. I just miscounted. But the fourth one I had, or third one I had, is like, this is a really shitty one, and this is just what I was thinking off my off time. Like, so we were told that like devil fruits were made from people's dreams, right? That's like the one weird thing. That's
the vague explanation. Yes.
Yes. And so I just thought this really dumb idea of like, what if devil fruits, a lot of them were made because kids were playing wherever they're being made, and we're doing the dumb like, well, I have a laser. Yeah, well, I have a dog that blocks lasers bullshit, because we talk about like, oh, smoker, I'm made out of smoke. It's like, yeah, well, I'm fire, so I can burn your smoke away. Oh, magma, I'm hotter than your fire. Like, we have a bunch of that.
Yeah,
and the same with like with the ton food.
Yeah, I'm a ton man. Well, I'm a kilo woman. Well, I'm a ton man.
Right. It's like, oh, I'm the dice fruit. I can slice up everything. Well, I'm the weapons person, so I can be any weapon at all. Like,
well, I can shoot you with lightning. Well, I'm immune to lightning.
Well, I'm a cartoon god.
Yeah, I can do anything.
Yeah, like it just seems like weird. It just seems really funny that would be like the kind of genesis of like why there's so many overlapping fruits in that way. Because I've always thought that was very weird that Oda would do it, but that might also just be like, I want to use this fruit again.
Yeah, when push comes to shove, I think that will be the answer. But also, it's like,
yeah,
well, I want to be a jacket man.
Yes. Well, I'm a clothes man, so I can make any clothes.
Cool.
Yeah,
you're right. That is how that would have gone.
Yeah.
By the way, we talked about how maybe the world got flooded over, was a Pangea. There are ruins in the bottom of the ocean in the Jim Bay cover story, which is a weird cover story. And like, there's just kind of ruins and like, it seems like the tops of cities, and it's the only time we've seen the bottom of the ocean that is not near Fishman Island. So maybe there's some stuff there, but
yeah,
I don't know. Anyone have anything else before we close this one off? We did good. Like, this was a normal sized one, and we did like 7 chapters. So good job.
No.
Well,
I can't wait till we get to Elbath in 10 chapters. Oh, let's do that. How many chapters until we get to Elbath?
15.
15?
Yeah, not 10. That's 2.
Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere between 10 and 20. I'll give it like somewhere in there.
I'm gonna say 10. I think. I don't think
these are about to be fast-paced fucking chapters.
It's like this fight probably got like another 2 chapters, maybe 3.
And stuff is happening. So much is happening during the fight. Tyler, do you have any guesstimate?
Nah, none for me, dog.
I forgot to ask a question. Is Kizaru going to be beaten in this arc? What do y'all think?
So that's what I also think might be the incident, is that Luffy kills Kizaru or breaks Kizaru to the point that he can't be an admiral anymore. Because at that point, it's like a declaration of war against the entire like emperor.
Again?
Yeah, again.
That's no biggie for the Straw Hats. They'll declare war if they have to.
True, they will, but it's more of the world government actually be like, okay, we have to deal with this now.
So you're feeling like a yes.
Luffy, what if Luffy talks Kizaru into quitting his job?
You know, like...
That'd be so hot.
I'm down for a good talk no jutsu from my boy Naruto.
No, that's where I'm at.
You're
either that or who's the scientist's name again?
Vegapunk.
Or Vegapunk has a jar, and in this jar he can capture the speed of light and trap it, and so then they just have a jar of Kizaru that they're taking with them, just like they did Gastino.
Brilliant. I mean, he has that anti-light gloving punch technology, which is weird. And he's got like light bubble shields. Like, he's definitely researched a lot of light. So that's not the craziest thing that could happen.
No, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen. Okay. Jay Garcia Saturn's gonna show up, and he's gonna turn the Seraphim, and everyone's gonna go like, "Oh shit, the Seraphim are gonna ruin everything." And then Luffy's talking to Kizaru, and he's gonna go, "Guys, come on!" And Kizaru was like, "Oh my god, Luffy's right." And then he's gonna kill the Seraphim, and they escape.
And they'll go, "How fat-assed can I be?" So what I'm picturing is let me steal a little bit from y'all, but what I'm picturing is it is a stalemate, but Luffy gets some very good hits in that show that like If the
Yeah.
fight concluded, it could have gone either way, and Luffy would have probably won. But Kizaru, much like Sakazuki back in the day, gets back up from it. But because of the biggest incident, which is not Kizaru falling, Kizaru will cave in at the last second. Maybe not necessarily turn on J. Garcia Saturn, but like hold back at the final moment and let them just narrowly escape.
Yeah.
So I'm picturing
Or-
like a slight betrayal from Kizaru's end.
And you know what? I think like I would feel cool with that because of how he hasn't just blindly followed Saturn's orders. You know,
Yeah.
I could see that moment of hesitation happening.
I believe Oda said Kizaru's brand of justice because they've all had like brands. I think his was uncertain justice, if I'm not mistaken.
Hold on. Let's
Um,
go to
so-
the One Piece wiki.
Uncertainty could definitely be a part of where his storyline is going. Guys,
Yeah.
what if the admirals, and I never once in my life picture this,
Yeah,
what if
unclear
the
justice.
admirals, unclear justice, okay. That's very unclear to me. What if the
Yeah.
admirals are just not endgame opponents? Like, they're on our side somehow. Like, what could be an opponent force that the admirals aren't in that side? Oda would have to introduce some bullshit to be a threat at the end of the series. if
They
that's
got
not the
Yonko
case.
DNA. They all gotta fight the old Yonkos as young people again. I don't know.
Here's the thing.
Rox and Roger clones.
That's Rox, Roger, and Garp clones.
Maybe.
Here's the thing. If the final arc really is this like world-threatening flood that the
Mhm.
Gorosei and the world government is trying to inflict upon people, God, I don't know if any of the admirals could go with, even Sakazuki. I don't know if he could go with killing that many people for his bosses.
Yeah.
Then let's say this happens, right? They'll go with it at first, and then like the horrific tragedy is going to become very clear, and even
Yeah.
they're like at like midway or near the end, they will be on our side and cave and be like, "What are we doing? This isn't
I think-
justice."
No,
I think
I've seen the
Go ahead.
future just now.
Future Saihaki.
Okay.
No, I know what happens is like the flood is starting to hit and the water level's rising, and it's like, holy shit, all of our devil fruit users, Luffy, he's falling into the sea. He's not gonna have a place to stand. And you know what? A glob of magma flies into the water, creates an island for Luffy to stand on. It's Sakazuki.
And he's
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Luffy, I'll fight alongside you. There's this picture of it's so
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Dude, there's a meme picture of Sakazuki shaking Luffy's hand and they're smiling.
No.
And people use it as like this would be the stupidest thing. Look, I found it. It's so good. Like, I think it showed up in some like dumb thumbnail. You know how like those thumbnails have these weird made up scenarios that aren't real, but like I'll post it in midcast chat. Just seeing that is like on the surface that is very stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, I wouldn't completely write off a slight redemption moment for Sakazuki. I don't hate him as much as most of the fans base does. Like people think he's like this irredeemable piece of shit. I'm like, there's something behind there where there's a shred of humanity in that man. Especially after he's been mellowed out by his job.
They all hate him because he killed Ace. Let's be real. That's why people hate him.
But he genuinely believed that like
Yeah.
I need to kill the son of the king of the pirates. Like this is a good way to stop piracy. Like I don't know, man. I think he wasn't as evil as people make him out to be. And on that note, we will end it here. Thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully we don't stock up that many chapters this time, but also hopefully we get our usual like 3 chapters on, 1 chapter off schedule because it's been a little crazy.
Are we off this week? Hold on.
We are off this week. So
Okay.
Damn, dude.
but after we're back, I hope we're back to our relatively stable schedule.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your night, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.